Welcome everybody to another webinar in our series. Today we're going to be talking about the scheduling and reporting functions built into WIN-911. This is going to be pretty short and sweet, and then we'll open up the questions at the end. There's not a lot of complexity around the scheduling and reporting, so what we're going to be doing is just going through the demo for scheduling real quick, and then we'll go over the reporting knowledge base article that I recently created. And we'll do a quick demo on reporting, and then just a reminder of the resources. If there's any issues at all throughout this with my internet connection with audio or video, just go ahead and pop into the question section and let me know. I'll try to review that every few minutes if I can. So we're going to just go straight into the demo for scheduling here. And pop open my VM. And here's your WIN-911 workspace. So if you go under contacts, you have the option for schedules right here. And you can see there's predefined ones. These are all in here by default, right? We have always, and then a 12-hour for 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., never, a nightly 12-hour, some off hours, and standard weekdays and weekends. So if these work for you, right, go ahead and use them. But I just wanted to show you guys a quick example of setting up your own schedule if you have kind of a custom one that you need to apply to certain people. So we'll go ahead and just hit the plus sign and make a new one. And you can see it's really just kind of like, you know, an Outlook calendar or any kind of calendar app built in here. You just give it a name to start with. So we can call this, well, actually we'll do two and kind of show you how to use two of them here. So we'll do morning team, and you can give a description if you want to, but that's not required. But now that we have a name, morning team, you just click on this plus sign for new appointment, and that's going to go to today, Wednesday the 7th, and you just double click that. And for this example, I'm going to change the subject here to just morning team. And you click on this little button next to the start time, and let's say these guys start at 6 a.m. and they do the first 6 hours to noon, right? So 6 a.m. to 12 o'clock noon. And there's some options up here for the time markers. You can, you know, show it as a different icon on the calendar, so you can kind of do some organization however you want to see this. But it's not required to set this. You know, you can ignore that. You can also categorize it with different colors. There's also high priority or importance, high importance and low importance. But really, the only other thing that you want to set up in here is this button for edit reoccurrence. So again, pretty much just like Outlook does today. It'll show you the duration, the 6 hours, and you can change that here if you want to. And you can do the recurrence pattern, so every day repeats every 1 day, or you can do every weekday if it's going to be not using the schedule on the weekend, but we're going to do every day for this. And let's go ahead and just set an end date for next week, right? So we have from Wednesday the 7th to Wednesday the 14th, and click OK. Click OK. And there we go. You can see it popped right into the schedules. I'll just maximize this for you. And we have that morning team going all the way through to next Wednesday. All right. Save that. And you can see that that pops in here to the list. And we're going to make another one real quick for afternoon team. And we'll add an appointment, double click. Afternoon team takes over at 12 o'clock to 6 p.m. in this example. And we'll go ahead and do that edit reoccurrence every day until next week. And you can see the other options in here. There's no end date if you want this to just go on perpetually forever. You can do end after a certain number of occurrences. So if you want, 30 days, for example, just throw that in here, or you can just select the day. Click OK. Click OK, and you have an afternoon team starting on Wednesday the 7th until Wednesday the 14th. Go ahead and save it. All right. So now we have a morning team and we have an afternoon team. And now that you created those schedules, they're not in use yet, right? So you have a utilizers tab over here. No utilizers found. Nobody's using them, but they're just created as a placeholder. You have to assign those schedules to each person individually in whatever type of contact or connection method you want. So, voice, email, SMS, the mobile app. Go ahead and jump into those connections, and we'll do mobile, for example, right now. And you can see your users are all going to have this schedule drop down. So you can see I'm already on always. And I'm going to just go ahead and assign myself to the morning team. Click save. Now that this schedule is set to morning team, that means that this user, me, whoever has this schedule, is only going to get notifications on this method on mobile for that 6 a.m. to noon time frame. That's it. Anything outside of those hours, it's going to honor the schedule, and it's not going to bother that person. It will not send a notification. Okay, so notice how you can do that schedule for each notification method. You can do the email, keep that on always. We always want to get an email. SMS and voice, again, same exact thing. You can assign the schedule to each connection type for each person. So that's really basically it for scheduling. Now, if you want to go ahead and change somebody's schedule because maybe somebody's going to, take the day off and they were supposed to be on shift and somebody else is going to take over for them, all you have to do is come in here and go to their connection, click edit, and you can change that drop down from morning team to maybe he's going to take over the afternoon team. Good to go. You don't have to restart anything else. It's all runtime all the time. And if you don't want to bother loading up this whole workspace and coming in here, that's what we built the contacts utility for. So click on the start button. Contacts utility should be installed by default. If not, you can get it from the install package, but it's included right now today by default if you have our latest versions. So in the contacts utility, you can see that you can drop down and see your tactic. And the tactic is what's doing the actual call out list. So I have Jeremiah email, Jeremiah mobile, and that's all fine. You can change things in here, add retries, delay after, things like that. But what we're looking for right now is the connections tab up at the top. You can see that it has their schedules right here. And so my mobile is on afternoon team. So let's say that you want to change that. All you got to do is click the drop down, change it to always for the weekend, right? Maybe my email, I want to just not receive emails this weekend. I'm going to go to never. You can change the schedules right there. Real quick, real simple. And any schedules that you've built are going to be in this list. And go ahead and apply them and click save, and they're going to be good to go. And that directly translates into the settings here. So you can see my mobile user that was on afternoon team. We go ahead and refresh this. So now my mobile is on always because we changed that in the contacts utility. So pretty straightforward. If you have questions about it or any custom circumstances that you guys are trying to set up, you can type them into the questions section now so you don't forget, and I'll try to get to them at the end here. We got a pretty small group today, so I'm going to just do the whole unmute everybody, and you can talk to me at the end and go through the questions if you'd like. I'll try to explain everything the best I can for you. But that's scheduling. Go ahead and make the schedule and apply it to your people. About it. So the next step here is we're going to go through the reporting knowledge base article, and then we'll do that reporting demo. So a few weeks ago, I made a new one that the only other reporting info we had was pretty out of date, and I don't believe that it showed all of the notification method options for reporting. So on our knowledge base, actually I'll just do this from the beginning. You go to our website, WIN-911.com, hover on the support tab and go to knowledge base. And you can just type in reporting, how to use reporting in WIN-911. So this is going to go through everything from the very beginning. Most importantly, at the beginning is you need to import alarms into WIN-911. So those items, those alarms, those tags need to be imported for us to report on them. So as you can probably already draw a conclusion to, those SCADAs that don't have items imported are not going to be able to do reporting on their own. So like factory talk alarm and events, or like system platform, if you're just using subscription filters, something that's not importing actual alarms, you would need to do like an OPC server on the side to get those. So this goes through and talks about that factory talk alarm and events, set up an OPC server. System platform does not support reporting, right? Because that, again, you could do an OPC server for something else, but that's not going to integrate into your system platform. But for anything else, just make sure that you import those alarms into your WIN-911 system, and it goes through those examples. And then we're going to get into going to the reporting tab, creating a new report, giving it a number and a name, and then you're going to add your items to that report. And it'll show you the list of all the available options that you've imported for those alarms or those items. Check the ones you want to import for the report itself, and save that report. And at the bottom here, this is really the most important part, because once you create your report, that's pretty easy. You have the points in there that you want, but how do you get that information? So this step 3, how to request reports, I've gone and added every step in here for email, SMS, voice, and the mobile app. And today we're going to just quickly go through email and the mobile app, but the information is here whenever you want to report it. So first, let's go back to the workspace, and you have the reporting tab here up top. And I've already created one, but I'm going to go ahead and delete this so that we can just create one from scratch, and you guys can see that. So device 1, tag 1, we're going to delete. And you're going to hit the plus sign to make a new report. We're going to give this a number. Just number 1 is fine. Enter a name. We're going to call this tag 1. And then hit the plus here. And these are all of the imported tags that I have right now. These would be showing everything you've imported in your system. As you can see, I just have a couple OPC tags I set up quickly this morning to show you guys. So I'm going to check the box next to tag 1, check mark, and save it. So now I have report number 1, tag 1, goes to my device 1, tag 1. I have another one I've created, number 2, tag 2, goes to device 1, tag 2. So again, now these are just placeholders. They're here. You have those reports available to request. And how do you get the info, right? So if we go back to the KB article for email, so to request reports, send an email with the subject report, followed by name or number. So for example, report 14 or report freshwater tank, and that number or name obviously comes right from this number or name. So for this, we would do report space 1, for example. And when you're sending the email, in case there's confusion here, this is going to be going to the email address for your email gateway, right? So when you go into your contact gateway email, you have your email address set up in here, and that's where you're going to be sending this email to with that subject line. So I'm going to go ahead and just pop open my email, and we'll do a new message. And we'll type this out as WIN-911 email at gmail.com. And I'm going to do report 1. That's in the subject line. And click send. And then we'll give it a minute here. So for the for the inbound emails, right? Because this is technically coming inbound into this WIN-911 email at gmail.com account, right? It takes, I think it's every 60 seconds, if I remember right, is when our WIN-911 notifier is going to poll for the new email, and there you go, and then send that report. So now you can see from my request, I have WIN-911 report number 1, OPC server, channel 1, device 1, tag 1, and there's the value. So pretty simple. We can do another one. And then one email and subject line report 2. Again, if you don't get it right away, don't panic. It's going to take a minute for it to process. There's a new email coming in. It's going to read that. It's going to see that report 2 is in the subject line, and then it's going to process the report data and send it back to the requester email. Also, make sure that you're doing this from an email address that is in your connections list, right? So if you go to your connections in email, you can see I have myself in here with my work email. So make sure you're not doing this from just some random email address. If we go back to my email, here is report number 2, device 1, tag 2, value is 0. So pretty cool. Also, if you ever forget the commands, or maybe you forget how to look up the knowledge base article, when you send a welcome email in the workspace to a new connection, you're going to get an email that looks like this. Welcome to WIN-911. Here are some instructions for interacting with the email module. So it shows you how to acknowledge. It shows you how to request reports. And that's the same info I pasted into the KB article. So report and then the number, or report and then the name. As you can see, you don't have to put this in quotes in all caps. It's just telling you the word report. It'll also do alarm requests. You can do subject line of get and then certain statuses and whatnot. We're not going to get into that today. So that's report request through email. And then I really wanted to show you guys what it looks like in mobile, because that's really the game changer, right? If you haven't used the new mobile, definitely get on support and get mobile, because this is cool. I hooked up my cell phone through my laptop with Samsung DeX, which basically makes the phone onto like a desktop layout like this, so you can interact with it and open your apps and do whatever you want, just like it's a computer to a monitor. And this is my WIN-911 mobile app right here from my phone that's plugged in next to me. And what's cool about the app is you can just hit the menu button and go to reports. And there you go. There's my reports. They're all going to be listed there. Obviously, pretty darn easy just to go ahead and tap on your report, and it's going to send that message back into the request to the module in the WIN-911 system, and it's going to report back the value for that tag. The quality is good. We got a value, and you can click on your next report. We got a quality that's good and a value. So super quick, super easy, and definitely get on that WIN-911 mobile if you have not been using it or didn't know about it. Got lots of documentation information out there for mobile. So that is reporting, and again, you can do that for any connection method that you have in here. Go over and take a look at SMS, which I'm not going to show you today, but again, when you set up a new user, you can send them the welcome message, and it shows you this: welcome to WIN-911. For instructions on how to use the system, text help. I texted help, and it shows you how to ACK alarms, how to add a comment if you ACK if you want to, how to request alarms, and how to request reports. Just like email, for the text message, you're just going to reply with the word report and then the number. So report 1 would pull back report 1. Now you can also do a list of the reports that you have. So maybe you forgot, what reports you have created. You have like 10 of them in there, and you forgot the name or something or which number it is. You can just do list reports, and that'll show you all of the reports you have created. And then you can just send in, report 5 and get that information. So text is pretty easy there as well. For voice, it's just like your typical prompt, press the DTMF tone system, right? So this is just an example of what you're going to hear. You call into WIN-911, please enter your authorization code followed by the pound key. Main menu. For alarm requests, press 2. For report requests, press 3. So for this example, obviously you're going to press 3. Please enter the report number followed by the pound key. So you just hit 1 and then pound, and it's going to start reading you back that data. So pretty simple. And there's an option if you don't press 3. It says for a list of available reports, press 4. So similar to the list all reports for SMS, you can just press 4, and it will repeat back out to you. Please select a report from the following list, and it's going to list out all of those reports created in WIN-911. If you miss something, or maybe your attention got drawn away from that call, you can always just press the star key to repeat this list. And then I showed you reports in the mobile app, which is by far the easiest and nicely organized way to do it. So that's about it. And scheduling. So I'm going to go ahead and just finish up with the last slides here, showing you the reminder for resources. You can go to our website, resources, and then documentation, our past webinars, our how-to videos. Those are all under the resources tab. And then under the support tab is your knowledge base that you can search through. And if you're valid on support with a customer care subscription, you can start a support case from that support tab as well. We also have on that webinars page the webinars on deck and the new user training. If you're not familiar with new user training, we've been doing that for a couple of months now. Chris Cave is doing a fantastic job. You can register at any time. We have 2 a month going on right now. And that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and unmute everybody. And or you have the option to unmute yourselves now if you want. And if you want to talk and ask me questions, I'll try to answer them and go through anything I can with you. If you don't want to discuss it on the phone, you can just type it into the questions section.
Maya, this is Carolyn Sullivan with Browns Hill.
Hey, Carolyn, long time no talk. How you doing?
I know. That's a good thing.
It is a good thing, yeah.
So there's 2 questions. Are the schedules part of the basic of the SIA?
For the license level, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go through that real quick, actually. So if you go to our website and go to products and compare products, this is going to be a refresher for me because there's not a lot of people out there with the standard compared to interactive and advanced. If you ever want to know which license level has which features enabled, again, products, compare products, and this is our license breakdown. So we have standard, interactive, advanced, and if you come down here to report requests, there's not a green check mark in standard, so you need to have interactive or advanced.
Okay. And the other question is, when we're setting up the schedule, one of the most common questions I get is about setting up a schedule for holidays.
Okay. Yeah.
And so when I look at what's available in the scheduling, I don't know how to make it more flexible so that, some holidays are 2 days, some holiday coverages are 3 days, some of them are 1 day.
Right.
Set up a schedule to be quote unquote holiday. Do you just say it's 1 day and then you apply it to each day?
Sure. Yeah. So that can get, yeah.
That's the tricky one.
It can get a little confusing, right? Because first of all, everybody has different holiday schedules and everyone's going to have different hours they want coverage and whatnot. So that's always going to be custom and not a perfect one-size-fits-all solution. But my suggestion would be if you have a specific holiday schedule, I would just create it for those days. So let's say, for example, it's 2 days, right? So let's go ahead and just make one and walk through this, and you can kind of explain the issues you've ran into, and we'll try to recreate them. So let's do a holiday test, and we'll add a new appointment. And let's say it's this weekend coming up, right? So we're gonna do Saturday. And are you gonna? Is this for example, like you want coverage during the weekend for this holiday coming up, right?
Yeah, like a Friday through Monday at 7 a.m. Friday at 4 through Monday at 7.
Okay, so Friday at 4 p.m. through Sunday at what time?
Say 7 a.m.
7 a.m. Okay. All right. And we're gonna call this holiday test. So we have Friday at 4 p.m. through 11 a.m. This is not going to be recurring, right? So we're not going to go through and edit that recurrence. This is just going to be those 2 days. So when you click OK, we're going to have that pop in here Friday, Saturday, and if we scroll down through Sunday. Now, if we save that, what I would do is open up the contacts utility now that we've created one, now that we've created a schedule. Pop into the connections, and then Jeremiah Mobile is going to be on that holiday, and Jeremiah Email is going to be on that holiday, and then save it. And then they're going to get those notifications only for those hours specified, right? And then as soon as Monday rolls around, you just come in here that morning and change them back to their regular, daily 12-hour always or whatever they're supposed to. That's how I would do it. Maybe there's some more complexity here that I can address if I'm missing something, but is that how you're doing it today?
Similar, yeah. I think what we're trying to do is more, yeah, I think they're going to have to set up multiple different holiday items and then assign it. Like, I think they're going to have to, like, July 4th holiday, Labor Day, holiday, Christmas holiday, Thanksgiving. I think it's what it sounds like is they're going to have to develop a schedule for each.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So you're going to have to go through and make one called 4th of July schedule.
Exactly.
Christmas schedule. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I wanted clarification on. Yeah.
And I mean, you could technically go through the work and make that like one big full blown out schedule if you wanted to, but I would just do it per holiday and then assign those people because again, you don't know who's going to be calling out or who's going to be changing shifts, right? So yeah, I would just go through and set it up the way you explained. July 4th, what are the hours going to be? Save that as July 4th holiday schedule.
Okay.
And then build out the rest of them in here. And then again, in the contacts utility, you can just click the drop down and choose, Christmas schedule. And
exactly. And then assign it. And and I got to say that contacts utility has been a huge lifesaver for staff.
Oh, it's great, isn't it? Yeah, I love it.
It is so nice because it gets very confusing for them to understand how to go into Workspace and go here and go there. And this has been great. So nice job, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate the feedback. Yep, and I definitely understand, especially for somebody that's not used to our user interface here. There's a lot going on, so.
Thank you.
No problem at all. Thank you, Carolyn. Let me see if there's anybody else that has a question. Looks like nobody else has posted in the question section. All right, if anybody else has any issues, comments, concerns, feedback, go ahead and unmute yourself and we can talk now or we'll go ahead and end the webinar today. All right, looks like there's no other questions coming through. So thank you guys for your time. I know this was a quick one, but hopefully it helped and you guys have a fantastic rest of your week. Take care.
Jeremiah, will this be available on the site or will you email? Or?
I will show you guys right now. So all of our webinars that we do, if you go back to our website, WIN-911.com, go to resources, webinars. We have the ones on deck. You can see, obviously, here's today's. And then if you scroll down, we have this here's our past webinar section. So it will be here. It usually takes me the day to edit it and submit it, and it should be on this part of our website no later than Friday.
Okay, thank you.
No problem at all. You're very welcome. Take care, everybody.